Welcome everybody to a new episode of Chaotic Lore. And I know it's been a minute, but I've been working diligently trying to get this one out because it's going to be a long one. But before we continue, please leave a like. Also, follow me in the links in the description below. My YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, I'd like to thank you all for being so patient with me, but you'll love this one. So let's begin. Today we'll be talking about the underworld leader Chaor. Chaor is the ruler of the underworld, a brutal leader and a fearsome conquering warrior. He rules with wisdom, cunning, and intimidation. Despite all that, Chaor still wanted order in the underworld. To quell the chaos, he built a coliseum for creatures to fight and settle scores. And he built the underworld pits prison for creatures who threaten his rule or the underworld itself. Chaor has only 5 individuals in his inner circle of trust, those who recognize his power and rule without question. Takinam and Agitos, his advisors, Hearing, Chaor's spy, Omar the scientist, and Kaz, the only human Chaor likes. You can find Chaor in the Dawn of Paramset. Since Maxor himself is a 9 feet tall creature, and Chaor is taller by comparison, Chaor's height should be around 11 feet tall. Chaor has 2 large horns growing from each side of his head. He has a fiery red body and a large tail with spikes. He almost resembles Tim Curry's character from the movie Legends. Since the underworld is a play on hell, it makes sense the ruler to resemble the devil figure. Chaor is a courageous warrior who never backs down from a challenge. He can be easily angered if he feels disrespected. But he's no fool. Chaor has brains to match his brawn. He was able to deduce Falfor was lying about the history of Param and the Marillions' motives. While Aun was battling Amparu as the Overworlder took on the villain's appearance, Chaor figured out which one was the ally. And Chaor figured out a fine-tuned battle plan to infiltrate Kiru City to steal the Telebracers. At the same time, however, Chaor believes the end justifies the means. He's willing to sacrifice anything and anyone for his goals, even if he himself has to put himself in harm's way. Chaor, regardless, has his people's best interests at heart and will do anything to protect the underworld. Fun fact, Chaor fancies himself quite handsome. Anyone who betrays the underworld or Chaor himself, Chaor will personally stomp out the traitor. There's not many creatures Chaor considers friends in the traditional sense. Takinam is probably the only creature he can really call a friend. She was his first ally in dominating the underworld. Takinam earned her spot as one of 2 advisors to Chaor. Kaz is the only human Chaor considers a friend. He even gave Kaz the nickname Kazzy as a term of endearment. Kaz looks up to Chaor as his hero and is willing to help Chaor no matter what. Chaor doesn't mind returning the favor every so often, when Kaz got roped into a battle with Hammerdoom in the Underworld Coliseum, Chaor couldn't directly interfere or call off the match. He granted Kaz use of Omar's Gigantic Trooper. As per the rules, each combatant is allowed one battle gear each. Doesn't matter what state is in. If you want to learn the rules of the Coliseum, watch my video of Underworld City. The moment Hammerdoom was down, Chaor quickly declared Kaz the winner. Now we're at the point where we'll talk about who Chaor might consider as an ally than friends. There's Oxytos, Chaor's advisor and commander of his troops. Hearing, who spies for Chaor and is able to get around Param almost better than anyone. Finally, there's Omar, Chaor's lead scientist, who creates nearly all of the Underworld's battle gear. Now we're dealing with Chaor's enemies, which is nearly everyone who isn't an Underworlder, except for Underworlders who challenge Chaor's rule, like Lord Von Bloot, Krek, and Scythia. The Marillions Chaor hates the most of all, especially after the destruction they caused to the Underworld. Chaor even teamed up with his longtime foe and rival Maxor to personally take down Aun. Of course, Chaor still dislikes the Mepedians, Overworlders, and the Danians. Speaking of Maxor, prior to the Marillion invasion, Chaor hated Maxor with a burning passion and had aspirations of overthrowing the Overworld. After the invasion, since teaming up with Maxor, the two, let's just say, hate each other less. Chaor has his favorite tools in battle and locations, of course. For locations, Chaor is best used with Underworld City, Initiative Speed. When an Underworld creature attacks, the attack perform gains challenge power 15, deal 5 damage. Flavor text reads, not known for his creativity, Chaor nevertheless won the capital naming contest for which he was also the judge. Lava Pond, Initiative Speed. Fire attacks deal an additional 5 damage. Damage dealt by air attacks is reduced by 5. Magmon has 5 damage fire. The Pits. Initiative Fire. Engaged creatures gain outperform power 5. Damage dealt by speed attacks is reduced by 5. Flavor text reads, the Underworlders are fair. All are guilty until proven innocent. The Magma Dam. Initiative Air. Creatures without fire have Recklessness 5. Flavor text reads, it only needs to hold until Chaor hordes have amassed. Kaibon. Underworld Coliseum. Initiative Speed. All creatures with elemental type fire deal an additional 10 damage on their first attack. Flavor text reads, Underworlders have a simple way of settling arguments here. The one left standing always right. Music, Cannon of Casualty. Deal 20 damage to target creature. Flavor text reads, even before the first 3 notes finish playing, Overworlders scramble for the nearest shelter. Refrain of Denial. Dispel target generic or overworld music. Flavor text reads, no such thing as musicians. Now fight. Dardamus. Song of Fury. Deal 10 damage to target creature. Until the end of the turn, another target creature gains +5 fire. Flavor text reads, "My legs are my magician. There is no choice. Cut them off. Mechlon." Battle gear, Telebracers. When Telebracers is revealed, the top card of your location deck becomes the active location. Flame Blade of Siren. Whenever equipped creature deals 30 or more fire damage with a single attack, destroy target battle gear. Vile Driver. Equipped creature gains 5 fire. Fire attacks made by this creature deal an additional 5 damage. Whip Crack. Equipped creature gains 15 power. If equipped creature is Underworld, it gains +5 fire. Dread Tread. If equipped creature moves this turn and won combat, it may move again. This move may begin a second combat. Flavor text reads, "The Dread Tread can rip through Kiru City's impenetrable walls as if they were made of paper." Chaor is a descendant of Kiru. Long ago in Perrin's past, creatures around this time would be like settlers. Kiru was an overworlder and leader of Kiru Village, later to be named Kiru City in the future. A young Nadrin was Kiru's loyal advisor. They made it their goal to settle and live peacefully. However, the village was often attacked by then leader of the underworld, Chaor. Chaor kept kidnapping overworld villagers to work in his mines. Kiru, being a benevolent leader, tried peaceful negotiations. He even made a deal with Chaor that he'll retrieve the Oriclon from Gigantopolis. But Chaor went back on his deal. Having decided enough was enough, Kiru took the fight to Chaor and end his reign of terror. After these events, it is unknown what exactly happened to Kiru or Chaor. We can say for certain that Kiru beat Chaor somehow because Chaor was never heard from again. But why didn't Kiru return to the village? I believe when Chaor was defeated, there was a power vacuum that needed to be filled. Since the Underworlders respect strength above all else, they saw Kiru as a worthy leader. I imagine Kiru declined at first, but realized that if he didn't rule, then some Chaor wannabe would. So he stayed for good for both tribes. And what of Chaor? Well, in the lore of Castle Pillar, which I covered in my video The Underworld City, there's an imprisoned mysterious creature locked away that only Chaor knows about. I believe that's Chaor himself. Kiru didn't have the power to completely destroy him, so he did the next best thing, imprison him. Of course, the events after Kiru took the fight to Chaor remains a mystery, and there's a gap in the timeline, so this is all speculation. But narratively, this makes decent sense. Once the series picks back up again, it'll be a great idea to have Chaor return and the show elaborate on what happened. I also think that Kiru kept Chaor's prison a secret to prevent usurpers from releasing him, so only his bloodline was allowed to know and to prevent anyone from releasing him. But those are my thoughts. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think happened to Kiru and Chaor? As time passed, Chaor became ruler of the underworld. Soon he found Takinam and Agitos, who worship Chaor and see him as the rightful ruler of the underworld. But as the tribes expanded in Perrin, so did the potential enemies. All tribes didn't much trust each other, but some grudges run deep. But Pedians probably hated Danians more than the other tribes because the Danians in the past stole water resources from Mepedian lands to build their first hive. Overworlders and underworlders hate started way back because of the events called set in motion. At some point, when Maxor and Chaor became leaders, the tribes' hatred towards each other trickled down to them. Even though Maxor sought peace, Chaor wanted to seek out the Kathaka to help him conquer Param. Even in the underworld, his rule is threatened by the power-hungry Lord von Blut. We first see Chaor in Season 1, Episode 3, Unexpected, when Chaor was chasing Blazer with a malfunctioning valve driver, trying to stop him from spying in the underworld territory. In Season 1, Episode 11, Lord of Treachery, Hearing brings Kaz to meet Chaor. Seeing how ecstatic Kaz was to meet his hero, Chaor believes he's perfect for a mission only a human can do. But most importantly, a human who worships Chaor above all others. Lord von Blut has been challenging Chaor's rule for a long time. Word is he's planning a rebellion, and he's invited to Chaor to Gothos Tower for peace talks. Chaor knows it's a trap because Blut has the home field advantage, and he just doesn't invite people inside his home. Kaz's mission is to find a chaotic player who uses a blue card and has Gothos Tower. Find out what's inside and tell Chaor before he leaves. Because if he doesn't go, all Underworlders will see that as a sign of weakness. After Kaz manages to get the info he needs after battling a player who coincidentally has what Kaz needs. Kaz discovered Chaor and Blut engaged in battle, with Blut seemingly having the edge because of the invisibility he gains when in the tower. After protecting Kaz from a fire attack from Blut, Chaor uses Song of Fury to defeat Blut. And Takinan revealed that the player Kaz met was secretly working with Blut in an attempt to double-cross Chaor. But Chaor pulled a triple cross, planting Takinan as a mole. Season 2, Episode 20, Maze of Menace. Von Blut casts a decomposition music in an attempt to steal Maxor's power. What he didn't realize, there was an extra step. Maxor's disciplines will slowly drain. However, they'll be stored inside a cold stone for whomever to break it open. Major Tom, Nadrin, and Interest team up to save Maxor. But Chaor soon hears of what happened. He shows up seemingly to save Chaor, but it's revealed he only did it to be the one who possesses Maxor's power. After Maxor pushed through music-inducing fears, he saved Tom and himself and forced Chaor to retreat. In Season 1, Episode 31, Firefighters, Chaor briefly shows when Kaz scans him using an Incinerace attack. Not realizing after using it, there's an immediate exhaustion. Season 2, Episode 4, Coliseum Showdown. Kaz runs into trouble with the Underworlder Hammerdoom in an underworld bar. He challenges Kaz to a duel in the Coliseum. Since he's not a creature with any abilities, Kaz knows he stands no chance. He goes to Chaor for help since they're friends. Chaor explains he can cancel the fight, but that would mean Kaz will be labeled a coward and forever banned from the underworld. So there's little Chaor can do. But thanks to Kaz's friends bringing a Gigantotrooper for him to use, Chaor allows it, and this gives Kaz a chance at winning. Hammerdoom tries using Paralyze on Kaz, but his gauntlets deflected the attack back at Hammer, paralyzing him. Chaor took the moment to quickly declare Kaz the winner, and when Hammer tried sneak attacking Kaz, Chaor stepped in and told Hammer to walk away. In Season 2, Episodes 6 and 7, Chaor's Commandos, Chaor builds an elite strike force to help pull off a heist in Kiru City. Kaz stumbles upon him and Chaor takes his scanner, not wanting to take a risk for their mission blowing up in their face. Using the Dread Tread to tunnel underground until they're beside the walls of Kiru City. Chaor's plan was to cause a distraction to steal the prototype telebracers inside the overworld arsenal. Bodo tries to stop Chaor, but to no avail. Maxor and his troops arrive too late, and Chaor makes off with the telebracers, taking it back to Omar to make some upgrades and hopefully for mass production. Season 2, Episode 12 and 13, From the Deep. The underworlders Kaibon and Jiggerax discovered an unusual underworld creature named Falfor, who was trapped inside some ice and ice pillar. Falfor requested to meet with the current underworld leader. Falfor explains to Chaor he's really from the hidden tribe called the Marillions. He tells a story about how all tribes live in harmony and the Marillions were the leaders. The other tribes grew jealous of the power they wielded from the sought-out Kathaka. The Marillions ran behind the doors of the deep mines to keep the other tribes out. And if Chaor wants the Kathaka, he'll have to open the doors. Of course, Chaor was too smart to fall for Falfor's lies. If the Marillions wielded so much power, why did they run and hide? And Chaor pointed out, nobody is to open those doors. No one knew why, but it was the only thing the tribes ever agreed on. The point is even made clear with the fact that a member of each tribe was to stand guard over the doors and each had a key to the doors, but the only way to open them was using all 4 keys. Falfor tried using his psychic abilities on Chaor, but his will was too strong. Falfor made his escape and then convinced a power-hungry Lord Von Blut to get the doors open. Chaor tried to stop them, but was too late. The Marillions were free. Season 2, Episode 23, Underworld Overthrown. With the Marillions plotting a systematic takeover Param, Chaor devised a plan to ambush Milaine and his forces with Omar's Annihilator near Marsha Merc. But the enemy anticipated this from Chaor. Milaine sent out a mind-controlled Blut and his army as extra cavalry. This was their real plan, draw Chaor out so Underworld City wouldn't have a protector. Defeated, Chaor went into hiding for a while to come up with a plan to stomp out the Marillions. In Season 2, Episode 26 and 27, Last Stand and Legion of Aun, Maxor and the Tribal Alliance came up with a plan to take Aun to Lake Bleakir, where a Marillion's power is weakened in order to finally destroy him and put an end to his control. But a brainwashed Tartarak explains it's another manipulation by Aun because he'll actually get stronger. Maxor is undeterred. On his way to Marillion HQ, Maxor is attacked by critters, but is rescued by a music-empowered Chaor. They team up for the first time since they need each other to take down this huge threat to their survival. Using the telebracers, all 3 are teleported to Bleakir. Aun takes on his second form, an octopus-like sea monster. And Paru was impersonating Maxor the whole time, while the real Maxor finds the Zerinium armor. Upon Maxor's epic arrival, he saved Chaor from falling into the negatively charged waters of Bleakir. Paru morphs into a copy of Sea Monster Aun, giving his allies some time to come up with a plan to destroy Aun. They decided to push him into the negatively charged waters, but Maxor hesitates, not wanting to accidentally destroy his friend. Chaor came up with an idea. He called out Imparu's name, knowing anyone's first reaction will be to turn around. Once they realize which one is which, they send Aun plummeting into the waters, killing him. This act severely depowers the other Marillions and freeing the brainwashed slaves, thus forcing a massive retreat by the Marillions. In Season 3, Episode 1, Parathon, Chaor, along with the other tribe leaders of the other tribes, celebrate their victory over the Marillions with a friendly race, also to bury the hatchet between the tribes after fighting as one. Things started off smoothly until the drivers of each tribe decided to win at any cost. In the end, it was Kaz and Peyton in the Komogo who sputtered into first place. While everyone was in shock, Chaor quickly jumped up and declared the Underworlders the winners. Since he personally knew Kaz and is a well-known Underworld ally, Chaor claimed he raised under the banner of the Underworld tribe, which made every Underworlder cheer. However, the other tribes wasn't buying it, which ignited a hilarious argument. In Season 3, Episode 3, Kicking Bot, while erecting a statue in Chaor's own image, a scared Omar ran to him with horrible news that his new Gigantic Trooper models were going on a rampage through the underworld. In order to make them better, Omar thought it was a good idea to give them a brain, so he gave each one a piece of his. Now more organized, they are tearing up the underworld for parts to build a bigger Gigantrooper. Baron gave Chaor an idea. Nearby the robot's path of destruction lies Iron Pillar. Battle gear doesn't work in Iron Pillar, and since Gigantic Troopers are still battle gear, they'll stop working so he can have them dismantled. But since now the bots built by Omar have a piece of his brain, they're not just battle gear anymore. Chaor then had the idea for Kaibon to turn his Chaor statue into a functional metal Zord, but the robots managed to create a bigger version for them to pilot. With Iron Pillar collapsing from the robots picking at it, Chaor told them they're under threat if the pillar falls, so they ran to hold up the pillar, and Chaor quickly took advantage using Rust Toxic to quickly immobilize the robots. For Omar's screw-up, Chaor had him run in a hamster wheel mechanism under the new construction of Chaor's new statue. In Season 3, Episode 12, Son of the Spirit Lands, Chaor is seen with many other parent creatures and chaotic players at Tegath Toborn's funeral as tribute to the hero who saved all of Param. Last we hear, Chaor would later visit Kaizef, city of the elements, once it was raised from Lake Kenapo. Chaor and a small band of underworlders enter the Phlegelston. Chaor, Underworld Conqueror Warrior. Dispel target overworld music or ability targeting Chaor. Flavor text reads, "We'll take Kiru City and the underworld will rule all of Param. Chaor." Chaor the Fierce, Underworld Conqueror Warrior. Plus 10 fire. Flavor text reads, "Exiled from the underworld, Chaor has lost his homeland and his throne, but his anger still rages, and it drives him forward." And that is the next chaotic lord done. This took a while. I had to do a lot of research and putting all this together in a cohesive manner as much as I can. And yeah, like I said, sorry for the wait. Usually I have these like, you know, out 2 weeks at a time, but I needed the extra time to get this done. It was a lot for Chaor, even slightly more so than Chaor, because we had like an added benefit with Kiru and his little adventure. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of Chaor. Is he like your favorite underworld character? Because he's my favorite, like probably slightly more than Hearing, but Hearing is probably my second favorite underworld character, right behind Chaor. But yeah, let me know what other chaotic creature or battle gear that you want a lore on, or a location you want lore videos made for, and I will put it on the list. And let's try to get this video to 100 likes, and definitely check out my previous Chaor lore videos. The last one was about Chaor, so let me know what you think of that. And I will see you all soon. Not gonna make any promises of when I have the next one out, but stay tuned for more videos down the line. And yeah, have a great weekend. Take care. See you all soon.